You ready?
There's been so many like exciting little tidbits of news. The most obvious one, you know,
Johnny's
a,
fucking
a
calling
girl
me.
who once upon a time shot cocaine up my butthole that just got engaged. You hear about that?
I did hear about that.
There's literally love out there for anyone.
Lucky guy. Fucking poor guy, man. Fuck. Little you know, somewhere your wife's shooting cocaine up a stranger's butthole.
So if you're married or thinking about getting married, good chance she's already shot some cocaine up
Good
someone's
chance
butt.
she's done some real fucking gnarly shit.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
You know what they say, you never forget your first.
You never do.
That
You
was
never do.
Yeah.
Honestly, good for her. She realized she didn't want that life anymore. You literally sent her into a fucking, let's call it it's the downward spiral into marriage. Just like, you know what, I'm out of this game completely. What the hell did I do last night?
Yeah.
That's good.
What can you do?
That's good stuff.
I mean, you already know this about me. Like I'm into weird stuff. I'm gonna do it for the story kind of guy.
Yeah.
Do you really get into that nonsense ever?
No.
Never.
I'm not really like a ratchet, like, I don't do like freaky shit really. You know what I mean? Like I don't, it's not really my bag of tricks. Hey, blew you up. It's not my bag of tricks really. It doesn't get my rocks off really. And like, I never find myself like going down that path with girls. I think it's also because I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's a fair excuse. I'm not really like super engaged with like one girl. You know what I mean? Like
That's true.
it's just a little this, little that. So we don't really go down those rabbit holes because it's not really a lot of time for it. You
And
know,
I already know. I mean, I hate that I know this, but I know for a fact you've gotten your salad tossed before.
I do. I have. That's a fact. Wasn't how I drew it up. Wasn't how I drew it up exactly, but
Yeah.
I actually woke up to it, believe it or not. It was like wake up to a blowy slash. She just kept going south.
I bet she's engaged now too.
She's probably married with kids. That was dude, I'm pretty sure dudes walked in on that too. Like Foley, or was it you, Blue? Somebody walked in on it. Somebody walked in. That was the same day. Yeah, it was Jerry and Foley, I think. Because like we were about to leave the hotel and they were like, dude, I'm pretty sure. No, something happened where they came in, they needed to get something out of the room, and like yeah, dude, the security was with them too. And like I was asleep and they were trying to get something, they needed to get something out of the room. So the security and Jerry and Foley like walk in and I'm like, they basically were like, dude, you're sleeping. We should fucking call Jerry in. They're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we walked in and you were asleep and you were getting your fucking blowy.
And you're just tongue deep in a salad tossing sesh.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hey, more power to her, honestly.
I don't. What's on your like? What's going on in your head where you're like, you know what I think will. You know what I think he'll like?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just a tongue in his butt upon waking up. I don't know.
I mean, for any girls listening, yeah, I don't want to get in the way of your sexual desires, but a guy's butthole is a whole different story than your butthole. Let's put it that way.
Oh
Whole
my
different
God.
story.
It's like the film Jumanji.
Apples and oranges.
And the latter part of the film, when the jungle starts growing everywhere in the house.
Yeah,
That's what
girls
our
don't
buttholes were
poop,
like.
so it's safe. But we poop.
That's science.
It's math.
Anyways, the lesser of the important news we got, Johnny Manziel episode of YNK, currently our most popular episode by a long shot. I want to say within 6 days, it has doubled our most popular episode.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Johnny's a fucking electric guy. And to be honest, this wasn't a doubt in my mind it would be the biggest one. I knew I can get him, you know, Johnny is has kind of like sidestepped doing shit like that just because it was for personal reasons too, you know? Like he had hurdles to get over. He had to arrive at a place where he was comfortable to really be honest, and I didn't want to I didn't really want to go down that, you know, that path with him until he was ready to do that. But I knew our conversation would be really like would be really, for like, it was just like a fulfilling conversation where he could just not hold anything back. And like the whole idea behind the podcast in general is to have like unbuttoned conversations with people who probably don't get a chance to have like really genuine conversations on camera.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of guys that I wish that people got to see more of their true personality versus like them answering sports reporters that they don't trust.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there's a cool lane, and I think that's a good example of that. Like, no one's really. I had so many people hit me like, "Yo, I didn't know Johny was like that." Really cool dude. There's a reason he's one of my favorite guys. I mean, he's living He's living in our house.
Yeah, I mean that's something we'll get into in a second.
Yeah.
It got a lot of good press.
Yeah.
It's happened time to time with our podcast.
Mhm.
How do you think that interview was perceived by the media? I thought it was pretty positive.
Yeah, it seemed positive. I mean, it's hard to watch that. Like, you could see a clip here and there and be like, "Oh, fuck this guy! Like, he threw away his opportunity." Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really like actually gave an open mind and like gave it a true listen with an open mind, that's why I like podcasts. You can like actually feel the authenticity of it, and you could feel if it's contrived. And it's really honestly and obviously not contrived. It's just like, and you're by the end of it, you're rooting for the guy to like, he's in no way like not owning up to the things he's done. But the thing is, like, why do you have to apologize for your life? I think that's a weird concept.
Well, he did mention that, he apologized to people on his team.
Totally.
His teammates who were taking shit super seriously.
Totally. That's fair. And I thought that was really cool. That's been a clip. That was like the clip that went like super viral.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what people wanted to hear. His teammates probably wanted to hear that, and media wanted to hear that. But like, I'm talking more about people who, there's people that DM me and message me and write on my comments like, "Fuck this guy, bro." Like, and I'm just, one, it says more about you than him, and two, it's his life. How the fuck is his decisions really making? Unless you're a Browns fan and you felt some type of way, and that's your team. I hear that, but the dude's just trying to figure it out, and he's still to this day trying to figure it out. He has ups and downs, just like any of us do. But
remind me how old he is again right now.
I think he's 28.
Yeah, I mean, I can show you a slew of 28-year-olds who don't have it figured out.
You know
what I mean?
Man.
Like, that's the norm.
Dude, I didn't start figuring shit out really, like, I've talked about it a lot on this podcast, but really, like, into my 30, like, when I turned 30 and, like, I don't know, I just, like, realized I was kind of daydreaming through life a little bit, like, not appreciating the general ins and outs of life, which sucks to realize, It sucks to realize that, but there's something to be said about, like, those realizations. I don't know. It's
well, some people never hit that. I'm just talking simply about like
figuring
finding purpose and figuring out what you want to do with your life.
Yeah. I mean, look, in his case in particular, like, he had a really, really, really clear, narrow path. Like, he was a very gifted athlete, so it was picked for him. Like, that's kind of how it is. Like, you're blessed with these abilities, and it's picked for you. But that doesn't necessarily mean that your heart and soul is into it.
I know.
And he's a pure example of that, like, he got burnt out and he experienced the fun sides of life, like, when you say fun, just like the fast pace. He was, let's put it this way, 99 fucking percent of people who got the opportunities that Johny got, the people he got to meet, the parties he was invited to, the girls, the celebrities, those temptations, 99.9% of humanity never even had those opportunities.
Yeah.
You weren't even, you didn't even have the opportunity to be tempted at that level.
Yeah.
Even fucking guys who've gone on and had 10-year careers in the NFL aren't as famous as him.
Not even
to
close.
This day.
Yeah.
So those temptations he faced when he was fucking 18, 19, 20 years old, I mean, they were extremely high level, and like, I've always understood that, and I've known Johny to be a fucking good guy, straight up, off the field, on the field, anything. He's a good dude, and you get around him, and you can feel that. So, I mean, as far as him figuring it out, I don't know if some people go through their whole lives and don't necessarily figure it out,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it's about enjoying the figuring it out, you know, like it's, and even me, like you could say I have things figured out. Like if you look at it on paper, I've gotten really lucky, but like I'm fucking still figuring it out day in and day out, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that's the message of the whole thing. Like, he doesn't know what the hell he's gonna do next. We're gonna do this podcast, and you know, and he's gonna keep playing golf and keep spending time with good people, and you know, try to make a living, and that's it. You know, like
Yeah. I'm not worried about him because I mean we obviously know he's the man, and when it comes to networking and just being a good person, good people just become attracted to you,
that's
and
facts.
good things just happen to you that way.
I mean, it's being around him. There was I talked about it on Stephen Mingle, but like when we left LA for like a month, I was kind of in a funk,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't exactly sure. I was like trying to figure out why. Didn't really know why. But being around him, it inspired me because he's in a good place. You know, like day in and day out, he's in a good mood here. He's fucking looking at the sunset. He's talking about life. He's enjoying. He doesn't need parties and people around. He's just enjoying our company, and he's enjoying this new found kind of peace where he's at. And dude, he some people never ever get over the shit that he lost.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He had a really high level success and attention, and that's just like a drug. Attention is the biggest drug being sold right now to people, like in the world. Everyone will do anything. It seems like anyone will do anything for more attention.
Mm-hmm.
And when you fall out of that, and not that he doesn't have attention still, but you fall out of that, you're in LA, the girls following you around, the TMZ, all this shit. When you fall out of that, it's really hard to like, and you go through that kind of embarrassing, like, you know, it was an embarrassing thing for him to like, fuck, all right, well, you know, close the book on that chapter, and to see him rebound and find peace, and it's not that late, you know what I mean? Like
No.
it's only 3-4 years ago, like that fall from grace, you could say, and now he really does have a positive aura, and it's fucking inspiring because I didn't have nearly as I can't really relate. Like I got hurt and shit, but like I wasn't this big famous guy, and like, you know, like
No.
so my point is he went through a high level turmoil and high level of public like shame, or you know, that shame that you feel, and he still feels it sometimes. He says it, you know, but like fuck, man, like if you know, he could figure it out and have some actual internal peace in just some short time, I think it's an inspiring and like an eye-opening thing. Like anyone could you could get over anything if you like approach it the right way, you
I
know?
agree, and I think in a few years from now, he won't be defined by football anymore.
No.
He'll be defined by something completely different.
Yep. Agreed. And I just want to be a part of it. You know, I've always, you know, even when we did the comeback season, that was the whole idea. Like I want to help them in any way we possibly can.
The Ball Don't Lie podcast. How do you foresee that going? Describe like what type of show that's going to be, because it's going to be coming out very soon.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be special, man. He's like actually a talented speaker, good speaker, and has I think really valuable insight on shit ranging far outside of football.
Mm-hmm.
It's a life podcast, man. It's under the same umbrella as like the vibe of YNK, but it will be repetitive. It will, you know, like YNK, we have guests all the time, where this one will be a little less dependent on guests. We'll still have guests, but I think Johnny has like a long story to tell. I don't think you can fit it in 1 or 10 podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
But I also just think he can, you know, really have a dynamic conversation. I think we can, and I think it will be helpful. Biggest feedback I got from our podcast was how really genuinely, like, a lot of people reached out and like, yo, that really like touched me, you know, for X amount of reasons or whatever reason. But that was the overwhelming reaction that I got.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a huge purpose in that. Like we've been saying about doing these podcasts, and the reason we talk about what we talk about, you know?
Yeah.
we're not talking about bullshit. We're just trying to keep it real and spread, spread anything that could potentially help anyone who's listening.
Mm-hmm.
I think that bottom line is like more of that.
I agree. And a lot of people don't know this. Johnny's been living with us.
Yeah.
Talk about,
Fuck.
just you look around and you're like, hey, my life's just gotten a little weirder.
Yeah, he's an electric guy.
No, electric guy. Great to have him around. And please don't take offense to this, but I think he can party a little harder than you.
Yeah.
The guy's a tank.
He is a tank. He is a tank.
It used to be you being the last guy at the party. Now it's him. I walked out the other morning to the living room, and you were just on like a little lounge chair, just totally knocked out, and he had the music on the aux, just still rocking.
Yeah.
No,
he can get after it, man. It's as advertised. He can he can really party, and he can, like I said, dude. There was times, and we'll talk about it. We're gonna talk about it in the bottom line, but there was times where I wouldn't, because I didn't want to. I knew he still had aspirations, and I didn't want to be involved with partying with him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just didn't want to be, and I think he appreciated that. I didn't want to partake in that while he had aspirations to continue playing.
Mm-hmm.
But once that closure came, then that was right when we had the bottom line conversation. It had been an idea in my mind, but it couldn't happen until he had closure and like really was ready to say, "Hey, I'm done."
Yep.
Because I think that's where a lot of people found, he would say shit, and then he was saying it for the public, like, because he wasn't able to own up to the fact that he didn't want to fucking be an athlete anymore, like,
Mm-hmm.
straight up, and now that that's closed, he can move on with his life. There's nothing wrong with partying and having a good time, but I am privy to his day in and day out life now, and he's doing a lot better, man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we party, but he's not doing it every day, all day, and he's not sick, and he's not
Mm-hmm.
over abusing, like he's still trying to fucking figure it out, man. I want to help him. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we're pretty good at balancing life, It's a fast life we're living, and it can be dangerous. But all you gotta do is establish a balance and like work at it.
I think our group more than anyone has been like the kings of balance.
Yeah. I think we've done really well.
Yeah.
We've definitely had some, we've had some trials and tribulations along the way, but it's definitely something I pride myself, or not pride myself. I try to focus
Mm-hmm.
on keeping a balance. When I look at my days and day in and day out, like, if we got after the weekend, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm trying to eat healthy. I'm fucking hot yoga, sweat my balls off.
How you been enjoying hot yoga, by the way?
Hating every second of it.
I hear your first hot yoga was too hot.
That's the only place I've gone. I'm going to this place, and it's like, I talked to the girl today after. I was just like, does this ever get easier? like, dude, every time I'm like, my whole body's tingling by the end of it. And like, I'm just laying there, and I look up, and everyone's gone. I'm the last guy to leave every time. I just can't, like, it's really fucking hard.
People quit the class before it ends?
No. I mean, like, when the class ends, like, you finish with some stretches. And like,
gotcha.
I'm laying on my back, and they give you like cold towels. I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
and by the time I like open my eyes and look around, like, the whole class is fucking left. They're gone.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really hard. Dude, it's fucking humbling, man. Really humbling. There's like an older lady to my left. There's a guy who's like 250 pounds, like, overweight, dominating me. I don't know how I mean, it's really hard,
Nothing
bro.
like a flexible old guy. A flexible
Yeah,
fat
just
guy.
flexible, but like not fucking, not like they're not wearing it like I'm wearing it. Like the just the movements, and like I've definitely let go of my flexibility and shit. So it's all just a journey to get back to it. But it's humbling, man. It's humbling in a nice way. Challenging yourself is fucking really productive. We're like pain avoiding creatures.
What did Mike Tyson say in his little press conference before his fight?
He says he says the reason he does things that scare him, right?
He said he's comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah. No, I mean, Mike Tyson's fucking very.
You have to be that way.
Mike Tyson's the shit. I read something. He said he got high as Yeah, he was high.
Blue said he got high as fuck before his
he
fight.
fought high.
I definitely believe that. I mean, he was locked in, man.
Yeah, I mean, we're big hot boxing podcast guys. I love watching that. And he's fucking really, like, people, if you don't know and you just see him like here and there, you're like, oh, he's kind of off his rocker. But he's not really. Like,
And I'm Mike Tyson.
brother from another mother. Nah, but dude, he's really fucking smart. Bro, it kind of inspired the Ball Don't Lie thing. Cause like Mike Tyson could say like pretty much anything to anyone. And like, he's had such a high level of life experience.
I think the highest, because forget about Johnny's story for a second.
Yeah.
I mean, times that by like 100.
I know.
How much did the guy earn in the peak of his career? $300-500 million?
Absurd amount.
And somehow pissed it all away?
Pissed it all away. Talks about
impressive.
it. The stories that come up, but like it's in the ballpark of like the notoriousness of Johnny's like 3-year run there, where he
100%.
much micro level, of that, but like there's a certain level of like experiential wisdom that you get through going through that and then coming out the other side and like seeing Johnny's personality now and like how he was just kind of like willing to be completely honest. Mike Tyson's like so honest. He's so honest about like his shortcomings or the things he's done in the past. And it's dope.
Yeah.
It's really dope. And it makes me want to go down that path, I'm happy I didn't hurt that many people and realize.
Broke a lot of hearts though.
Yeah, I mean, here and there, but not really even. I didn't really even go down that path. But I said that to Blue. I was just like, man, because he has a lot of like pain and what's the word? He's rattled by like all the fucked up shit he did in the past.
Yeah, living selfishly.
Yeah, but like he did this. He talks about DMT and he did the 5-MeO DMT, which is like the highest level, but they call it the God molecule, and it essentially like evaporates your ego, and you realize like all this shit. And they talk about it all the time, but he's coming from a place of like, oh shit, like all those sins and all those bad things I did to people, like now I just want to right those wrongs as much as I can. And I'm happy that I'm at least going down this path of trying to break the ego down. And, before I went on and fucked over a bunch of people or did a bunch of ratchet shit, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, Johnny has a little bit of that. He definitely has some little shame about things he's done, but he's ready to like start a new chapter and start rebuilding, which is dope.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Another thing on the table that we've done the past month, we launched the Fans Baleena Cup edition.
Yeah.
Just a little, because we didn't promote it too much. It was kind of a test run. It was we did a 32 team buy-in for fans to play each other, and the winner gets a big bag of money and a free trip to the ranch to play the king in person.
Yeah, man.
That's exciting.
We know the winners, right?
Yeah, we just found out.
They're fucking 18. So
legally, we have to call it a Pong tournament.
Yeah, it's a Pong tournament, I guess. So we'll play with fucking Capri Suns and
Sunny D,
Sunny Delight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess they're coming in riding the high horse. I think they're unbeatable. So
I got to tell you, I've watched the majority of their games. They got a shot on them. Both teammates.
We'll see how that shot looks when they got the Heisman bopping around doing chug buds. We'll see how normal how good that jumper looks when we throw him in the fire.
So you're saying there's zero part of you that's nervous about losing a 5-game series?
Absolutely not.
All right.
I mean, I don't ever lose a 5-game series.
By the time this comes out, I think the game will have already happened.
Good. Good. We'll look back.
We'll look back and we'll see if you're right.
Yeah. No, this is something we're going to be doing all the time, and we'll keep up in the ante. I mean, you put in $100. I mean, anyone out there didn't get involved. It's underground, so like try not to promote it too much and like kind of make it a word of mouth thing. And it's limited spots. The spots fill up in like a day or two, right?
Yep.
This was 32 teams. You enter at $100 a head, so $200 a team. And if you win, just the tournament before you play us, you get $1,000 for your 100. So the team wins 2,000, and then we fly them out here, all expenses paid.
Free trip.
and come play the Steves. So I think it's a really cool thing, and this whole premium content wave that we're about to start, almost like the week by the time this comes out, we'll be starting really soon, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of things teed up.
Yeah.
But the Baleena Cup, the next one, I think we'll open it up to 64 teams, and it'll start at the start of January probably.
Yeah, we're gonna do this all the time, and like you guys will make content out of it as well. Like but again, trying to do fun shit with you guys, and if you do, subscribe, because we're gonna do like tons of perks.
I know. I think there's value to this because there's one thing if you just give fans money, which is fine, like we still do that, but to give them an experience,
yeah,
like that
best.
every month,
It's the best.
to get a free trip here,
Yeah,
I think that's pretty cool.
I think it's really cool. I think it's just another cool addition to all the stuff we're doing, and I think a lot of this premium stuff will be like really cool.
I'm a little bummed out they're 18 because the last time we had the first time we had fans win a trip to the ranch, I mean, I showed them a hell of a time.
Yeah, you guys went out and got hammered.
The whole town knew I had a good time.
Frank, I think the whole town knows you. Yeah, no, you guys went out and got after it.
Now, like, where are we going to take these? I might take them to like Build-A-Bear.
Should take them to Olive Garden. The fact that we haven't been to Olive Garden is just horseshit, just principle alone. Trying to watch my figure.
Yeah.
So speaking of watching figure, I went home for Thanksgiving.
Oh,
You
yeah.
went home as well.
That was a good time.
Yeah, I had a blast. My sister got married, which was nice. I mentioned being kind of in a horseshit little vibe for like not horseshit, but just like a little dull since we left LA, and I was kind of just feeling a little misplaced or displaced. But shit, going home, man, touching the soil.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was. I think also being around at a wedding and your sister and you're happy that there was a big level of I felt a huge wave of like just general happiness and like wanted excited to get back and get to work and just enjoy the days.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy what perspective can do to you, man. You could look at the same view and fucking see two different things. I was not like kind of now every day I'm like back to looking at the sunset, and we have amazing view here, and it's crazy how noticeable just the perspective change will change exactly.
I was going to ask you how you like Arizona so far.
I'm fucking loving it. Yeah, I'm loving it. I mean, it's a fun place. Johnny was here. That was kind of the reason, but just getting out of LA and the weather here in the winter is amazing. I'm enjoying it. There's definitely like a higher level of like just kind of peace.
Another thing, speaking of premium content before, this, I believe, is the last free Steve's YNK podcast, non-guest, right?
Yeah. Well, this whole vibe, we'll be doing the house podcast with like the guys, and but these types of conversations will all be premium.
Yep.
So we'll be doing 2 premium episodes a month.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just for with launching a Ball Don't Lie podcast, like we're not going to be putting out like 2 podcasts a week. Like there has to be a balance. But I think this is great for those who really, fucking want to dial into us and what we're doing. And I think we have an amazing like group of people that fuck with us heavy, and for those people, we'll be, instead of killing off this side of it, I'd like to just do it. And for those who want to pay for it, you'll get these conversations, and
it's pretty cheap. It's going to be $5 a month.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get 2 episodes a month, and then access to the Stephen Mingle lives every other week.
Yeah,
which have been electric, by the way.
They have been good.
With the exception of the last one where we saw a couple of cocks.
Some guys throwing their hogs around fucked me up a little bit.
To paint the picture,
it wasn't even just a dick. It was this guy turning around and showing his balloon knot too.
This is really great promotion for Stephen Mingle Live. No one's gonna want to go on it, but we're gonna make sure this never happens again. But just to paint the picture, if you haven't even heard of Stephen Mingle Live, it's just a live stream we do on Zoom every other week, and we just get to talk with you guys in person. Yeah, and it's never like too crowded. Like there's 150 people in there or so. Like so, it's very manageable. We talk to a bunch of people, and we've been doing it for a couple months now.
Yeah,
and we on Zoom you have the gallery view where you can look at everyone that's has their cameras on, And I always kind of browse through there, like looking for the next person to talk to. Usually it's, some chicks or a guy with a mustache uh,
Yeah.
who I lean towards. And I'm looking through there and like someone's like spamming the chat room. And I'm like, who the fuck is this bozo? So I'm looking for this bozo who's spamming the chat room. And I just see a fucking naked dude who's dancing around, facing the wall,
Electric.
spreading his ass cheeks and putting his asshole right up to the camera.
Yep.
Which I don't even know where your head's at. Where you're not gonna hop on someone's.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, Stephen Mingle live sounds like it's kind of a dirty thing.
That wasn't on my fucking radar at all. Not one fucking part of my being thought I was gonna see it. I mean, we've been seeing some hammers. We've been seeing some ladies.
Everything's about balance, right? And then
yeah,
and then I give that guy the boot, and then like a half hour later, probably the same guy, just close up jerking it, fucking chat roulette style.
Sheesh. Hate to see it.
So if you want to join Stephen Mingle live,
yeah, go sign up now.
We swear there's some boobs on there sometimes.
No, seriously, I actually have I get a ton of value out of it. Just we get to talk to fans directly though.
It's one of my favorite things that we do because it's
yeah, I think it's really unique too. I don't think any other artists are doing it really, or even just public figures. You don't really see it.
Yeah,
super personal,
Mhm.
and I think it's a great way of like just continuing the idea of like giving any way we can, you know.
Yeah, and we give money away. We give
Yeah.
hundreds of dollars away every time.
Yeah,
So definitely join the next Stephen Mingle live. It's going to be part of the YNK podcast plus.
keep your pants on, guys.
And yeah, keep your dicks away. I'm glad there's going to be this, this payment wall now, so we don't get these
Yeah,
guys showing their dicks. I mean, if you pay $5 a month, show your dick. Go for it. You earned it. Not going to give you the boot. We're just going to deal with it.
Oh man, that's funny.
It's part of life. You got to deal with a couple dicks sometimes,
There's dicks in life as well.
One thing that we haven't done in a very long time is take an actual pee break in the middle of our episodes.
Want to do it?
I think we should.
All right.
All right, let's go for it.
We'll be right back with You Never Know, You Know What I Mean, right after this urination break. Come one, come all. If you're a Steve, then go to onlysteves.com. You can hear music early and get bonus podcasts every month. That's onlysteves.com.
I wanted to expand on one thing you said earlier about being in a funk when you came out here, and obviously, like this was a big, life change for us.
Yeah.
Packing up, leaving an entire city, and then going to,
New place.
going to LA is one thing because it's like that's where everything is entertainment wise. Like that's kind of where a lot of things were, and it was like an obvious move
Yeah.
at the time. This is like, I don't want to say it's obvious, but it's something that was necessary for us, but it wasn't like an obvious choice. We went through a big life change, and you said you were like, we're kind of in a funk a little bit.
Mhm.
I mean, what was that transition like moving, like packing up shop completely and just coming to a whole new city?
Yeah, I mean, we had been marinating on it for a while. Personally, I had been thinking about it for a while. We talk about like your intuition a lot. And I think in a previous episode, I was talking about like going for a ride. Like you got to go for a ride if you feel like you got to go for a ride. And
Yeah.
if that's somewhere new and unknown, if you don't go, then you'll never know, And it just kind of hit me more. I think COVID made it a little easier. There's a lot of time of reflection. There's a lot less to do. You're stuck in the house and there was fires in LA, and I'm just like, am I tied to anything here?
Yeah.
I started thinking about it, and I remember I wanted to. Life is like it's a call to adventure, man, and you have to create those adventures. You have to. If you have the chance, like you got to go for it.
Life's a highway.
Yeah,
I want to ride it
all night long.
all night long.
And I, you got to go for it, and that was really the basis. Now, I will say, the reflection and the stuff we talk about like was a big factor. Like really thinking about things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think you can break your programming and like challenge some of the thoughts that you're programmed into you if you really like think on things. And even being in a funk, I was thinking on things a lot. and we talk about feel and awareness. Like having awareness on your problems is like not something people are good at.
No, I was just going to ask that if people do that enough. And
I don't.
a good example, and we've been reading the Jay Shetty book, Think Like a Monk,
Mm-hmm.
which we all recommend because it's a fantastic book.
Yep.
And he touches on that a lot. His very first thing he said you should ask yourself are, what are your core values?
Yeah.
And then answer, write down like, what are you doing to contribute to those core values, whether it's family or career or whatever. And like,
Absolutely.
if you have one thing as a core value and your list is short on how you're fulfilling that value, then you're fucking up.
Mm-hmm.
It's
facts. That actually feeds into exactly what I was going to say. I realized my values were a little misplaced. Being that leaving Los Angeles put me in that vibe that I was in, I realized that I had a need for the attention, the girls in LA and the parties and just the stigma of being in LA, and like I always said I didn't care, but like I realized I kind of did.
mm-hmm.
And that awareness, it could be really painful to look yourself to the core and be like, maybe my values maybe aren't in the right place, and maybe I do care about some of the wrong things. But once you do that, man, like that's real freedom. Like awareness can really free you from a lot of things in life. So, a month went by, I went home, some time went by, I put my awareness on some better things, and now I'm not missing LA at all. I've already moved on, so it's like anything in life, but it definitely was kind of hard to deal with. Like I think there was a lot of times your disappointment in yourself that's where sadness stems. If you're disappointed in something you're thinking or feeling, it's one thing to just feel shitty, another thing to be like, why do I feel shitty? And then when you kind of realize, hey, a lot of this is like your frame of mind and how you're looking at things.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's been nice to get through that and see the other side. But I think those, we talk about it all the time, but I really do think it's the best time for growth when you put yourself in the unknown and you just jump off and just see where it takes you.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's set in stone. I don't know. I think we're gonna go to Nashville. We're fucking really blessed and lucky to have a life where we're not tied to one place. And why not explore until we don't feel like exploring anymore? So
yeah,
I'm happy with the decision. I think the vibe's been great. Everyone else was like on a better vibe than I was. Like I was kind of like, oh fuck, I don't know, did we make a mistake? I can't tell.
Yeah.
And then everyone else was kind of, so that was helpful too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we're blessed that we get to do it as a group.
Yeah.
Packing up and leaving as a solo human being and going to a new place.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know anyone there. I mean, I can imagine that's hard too, and I imagine that's what turns a lot of people away from it.
Like there's something about it. There's like even happiness is like fleeting. You know what I mean? Like you gotta just, there's something about like this whole life that we're living that I just kind of opened my eyes to. Like all of it's fleeting.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're on a magical run. Like who knows when it ends. Things keep rolling for us, and fucking go till the wheels fall off. But it's fleeting.
Yeah,
you gotta be happy with yourself. You gotta be happy with your boys or with the people in your life. Like none of it's really here to stay. Even the happiness, the feeling of happiness. Like there's more. Like the only thing that's not meaning is like the only thing that's not fleeting is meaning, like a purpose, like enjoying. Like if you find meaning in just being alive, and that's not going anywhere. You're gonna be alive until you're not anymore. But like
the setting's irrelevant then.
Yeah, that exactly. You're giving yourself a better chance to have joy every day, and
mm-hmm.
all of this shit has been all new things to learn for me. I'm learning every day, But if I could give anybody advice, just never feed your need to learn. Like it doesn't have to be about like studying or like learn it, like, like you already know what you know. Like
Which is nothing, because you never know.
you never know, but like this place was place you grew up. We knew LA, like we knew that. Like we don't know where these other places are, what they have to offer. We don't know what tomorrow brings. So just go into it trying to learn as much as you can, and like when you do have an opportunity to learn something new, go for it. I don't
Whatever
know.
tomorrow brings, I'll be there with open arms and open eyes. Yeah,
By day by day.
by day by day.
Man.
And I'm sure the question on most people's minds whenever we do these is your song release schedule.
Yeah.
What's next up? You just put out a little more time. What's next up?
Yeah, we're getting a great reaction on the songs. We put 4 out now as Mike. And they're doing really well. So I don't have a date yet on the next one. I'll be transparent. There's some shit, man. It changes day by day.
By day.
By day by day. It changes so much, but we just have some like fucking some bigger opportunities like knocking on the door a little bit, so I'm trying to play it by ear, man. Sometimes I don't even know what I want, that's okay. I don't know, like there's times where like I maybe want to do a record deal and like just make it as big as possible, and then there's times where I'm like, I don't even know, do I want that? I don't know. Shit. I got some meditation music rocking.
It sounds like from all the artists who are signed with the record deal, they don't like it. They don't like it.
I know, man. I mean, look, and there's definitely some great benefits to signing a record deal, but there's definitely some negatives, and I don't know. I've always leaned towards like life versus like what's gonna make me the most famous. What's gonna make me like what's gonna set me up for being as happy as I can be.
Mm-hmm.
Has been kind of the driving force behind our decisions. So, I got some bigger songs with some bigger artists, and we do need to play ball a little bit. I've been saying this for a while. I honestly, if you asked me a year ago to date, I would have thought we'd already be fucking balls deep in a deal. But COVID came and things changed, and you never know. Like
You never know.
what I will say is like we have tons of music, and I'm working still every day. I challenge myself every day. Sometimes I'm in the vibe, sometimes I'm not. But I have tons of music, and we'll be rocking. Like I said, we'll be putting songs out monthly, at least every 3 to 4 weeks. So a little more time just came out, not even a week ago yet, right? So yeah.
And we'll be doing a premium release through the music as well, which I think is going to be the best one of them all.
Yeah.
Which will include being able to listen to the song a week or two early.
Yeah, at least like 2 weeks earlier than it comes out.
Yeah.
You'll have the song. I'm gonna do like the Sunday Stud Day throwback vibe where like I'll take requests from the subscribers, what they want remixed and covered or whatever, and I'll do my own little versions of them. And yeah, I think it's just another cool avenue for us. Like, look, we're trying, we're really thinking about it in an entrepreneurial approach to this. You're looking at the OnlyFans model. We're watching the commerce change digitally. It's changing fast.
Yeah.
And I'd like to be at the forefront of something like this, where like artists with amazing fan bases go to direct to consumer, because Spotify, Apple, Amazon,
YouTube.
they have every artist by the balls
Mm-hmm.
because they have the platform, and the labels have the artists by the balls too. But if you can create a model that goes direct to fans, and the fans, that's the fucking price of a coffee. Like if you really like someone's music and you want a deeper look into it, and you want to see like even like the ideas of like playing demos for fans, letting you guys be a part of the process of like which song should I put out next, or which one do you guys like? Like,
yeah,
I think that's a really cool opportunity both for the consumer and the artist. And like, how's 95% of the fucking income sound, guys?
Just to put it in perspective, on Spotify, you get about 0.0, you get a little less than half a penny per stream. Doesn't add up to a lot. I think it adds up. If you get 1 million
Oh, it's
streams,
less than half a penny per stream.
it's less
Way
than half.
less.
It's like 0.003 or
Way-
0.004.
Yeah.
And to put it in perspective, for every like million streams, it's like $3,000.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know how hard it is to get 1 million streams? And you're talking about having to do that every month to
Yeah.
just get like minimum
It
wage.
costs like $5,000 to make a song. in
And
general.
Apple, before streaming, Apple was taking 30%. That's why, like, when you see like singles being sold, they would charge $1.29 because like
Yeah.
like 30% of it just out the door to Apple.
I think there's a cool wave coming here where like this is being brought to the forefront a little bit. Like the beautiful part of social media is like no one's safe. You know, like Kanye West could go out there and fire out fucking viral tweets to 10 million people see it.
Mhm.
And he's calling out how bad Kanye literally reneged on all of his deals. He had artists in slave deals.
Mhm.
He had artists in these typical label deals. And he was like, fuck that. I'm giving you guys your masters back. The reason we've been able to have success financially, I mean, granted, we've expanded and diversified and like do other shit. Thank God.
Mhm.
But the music money, I mean, it took me years to be really profitable in music. And guess what? It's become very profitable because I own it all. You know what I mean? I never did a deal. So yeah, I mean, way less people might hear it, but I'm getting the lion's share. I mean, for those listening, your favorite artist is getting like 15% of his music income. You know,
15% of the music income from companies like Spotify that's only giving you less than half a penny. You're like-
exactly.
So if you really break it down, like if you're an artist, and this is for any artist, not just us, would you rather have that type of deal where you're getting like a small percentage of a small percentage, or would you rather, charge $4 or $5 a month to like people who really give a shit about you
Mhm.
and feed them exactly what they want?
Exactly. That's the model.
That's the
I think
model.
I think you guys will be like, oh, this is a steal. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and if you don't want it, then you don't. You know what I mean? But it's for us, it's like it's more of like an aspiration to evolve the process and evolve the system in any way. You know, like we got in bed with this company Bravo a while ago, and like this was a plan for a while. Like, let's create something cool. Like, let's find an avenue to do something cool with this. Where like, if we have success with it and our model works, like more and more fans, more and more people who have like even if you have a small fan base, you could directly monetize and live off that.
Mhm.
Like there's a lot of struggling artists that can't live off, even if they have 10,000 fans, right? Those 10,000 people, you can't monetize that and actually live off that.
No.
But if you can monetize even fucking 1,000 people, if they're paying you $5 a month, you know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
$5,000 fucking dollars a month. Which you wouldn't have made. You probably would be in the red if you were doing it the traditional way.
Yeah.
So that's where our line of thinking is on this. And again, there's a cool vibe to the exclusivity of things. You know.
And we're not alone with this. I mean, we're one of the first people to do it. I mean, but you see like the Nelk Boys doing it with the Sen Club, and like,
Yeah.
and it's because they're YouTubers, and YouTube doesn't
They pay. Fucking
YouTube
jack
doesn't pay
shit.
you anything. They I forget the exact numbers. I want to say
It's terrible.
per million streams on YouTube, you make like $800 or something.
Yeah, it's wild.
like,
dude.
so, like I'm not exaggerating. It's like it's
yo,
really bad.
You guys I literally I approached this shit like, I studied business in school. Like I approached this as a business, like a product. You're serving a product to a demo, and like the return on investment on doing videos and shit was so glaringly bad. Along came streaming and this whole new culture of like that's how most people consume their music now, which there isn't visuals in that ballpark, you know.
Mhm.
So I stopped putting real money into videos because we'd have to fucking have a video go extremely viral
Yeah.
for us to have a return on investment.
Mhm.
And two, like most videos that go extremely viral, people are spending money to make it go viral. You know what I'm saying? They're spending money on the back end to push it into the algorithms. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not a YouTuber. YouTubers amass real stream, like real YouTube views. Those are, I'm sure a good amount of those are just real genuine views. but they do it because they're putting shit out like every day. You know what I mean? They're doing vlogs and all this, and they build this. We're not fucking YouTubers, you know? So it's like all these factors like are go into our decision making. But I think it's an exciting time for us. I think you guys will love it too. Again, exclusive podcasts, exclusive music, and exclusive content, like a Touring's Boring documentary we're gonna do. The Baleena Cup with fans, the Stephen Mingles, and the ideas will continue to flow, and we'll field our subscribers' ideas and keep doing cool shit.
Yeah, got a lot going on over here.
Keep rocking. More music coming. We'll have an album announcement. I'd say at the top of the year. In either January or February, you'll have an announcement. And a date, and we'll go.
Fans are ready.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the album's called "Keep Going." I made a song last week that's gonna be on the album. So, and I could have said this album would be out 6 months ago. So I think we're still working on it. But until we get this deal squared away, then we'll just have to let the cards fall where they may. I think there's gonna be some business made, some deals made to make this work, and I think it will be great.
Before we get out of here, there was a post that I just tagged you in that really made me laugh. Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
I'll show you right here. It's from one of our fans here.
The Snoozers.
I haven't really talked about this.
That's funny.
Just speaking of music streaming and stuff, like I just wanted to give it a quick plug because I think it's really funny.
Yeah, go ahead.
A lot of people don't know this. I'm actually a pretty successful sleep therapy artist.
You are.
Sleep therapy artist. I wanted to see, we're talking about music streaming and how poorly it pays. And I'm trying to raise money for my next film. And I wanted to use, because like last time I did crowdfunding and I used like, Kickstarter and, people donated money. I hate asking people for money. It fucking crushes me. So it sucks. So I wanted to think of a way, like, how do you raise money without having to ask for money? And music streaming was the only thing that came to my mind. As bad as it pays.
Smart.
And originally I wanted to make songs, but I'm like, how many fucking songs do you have to listen to for like, a third of a penny to turn into like a movie budget?
A lot. So then the thought of sleep therapy, like the Calm app, you think of like, songs you put on when you go to sleep. I came up with sleep therapy albums under the name of the Snoozers, which this particular fan, number one on their top artists here, because you have to listen throughout a night's sleep. You listen to about 3,000 tracks of the Snoozers. Because it's just like a 1 minute loop. Smart.
That goes for whatever.
Just innovating over here at the ranch.
And I think we just hit 1 million streams, which is pretty exciting.
Congrats.
Which again is not a ton of money, but we're getting there.
Yeah, fuck man, making some moolah.
So if you want to help out, hop onto Spotify or Apple and throw the Snoozers on for your next sleep.
Shout out to everyone who all day have been getting tagged, being in people's top artists.
Yeah.
Spotify rap just got announced today, but shit, man. Sometimes you forget when you live in a little bubble, and especially with COVID, not touring, and I think that's why these premium things we're doing, and even the Stephen Mingle, like, I don't know, it's our way of like doing the meet and greets and like getting to see, and you can't touch the people, but you could see them, and like,
yeah, man.
You forget sometimes, how many people we've gotten to reach and impact and shit. So it's really dope. Appreciate you guys, and it's not taken for granted, but I think there's just more and more good tunes on the way. I got a lot, and I think I've been talking about this sound I have. I really do think I have a sound that makes a lot of sense. So onward and upwards.
We'll be ready for that day by day.
By day by day.